Come on, come on. It was a circus with all the clowns. Well, coming from the big grown-ass adults, grown-ass, if you were unlucky enough or lucky enough, according to how you want to put the terminology, to be or listen to the show, all the players were there. All the players show out for the circus. All the performers. Yeah, that's one thing good that Big Kevin's show is good for. It brings out the scene. Everybody kissing and some. Now, I tried to say to Nico, who I'm very neutral with, by the way, but Nico's all right in his own way. But Nico is, when he goes into these soliloquies, of trying to explain himself and his ideology to a bunch of fucking clowns. Because they're not. Save Your Oxygen is very. It was a fucking circus. Poop Eye sounded like he was drunk. Certainly did. But the only thing that bothers me, Nico, you like being honest? Okay, let's be honest. You say you don't like race. Okay, but yet, when you're on a show with Al, and Al starts using a lot of other things he does, you kind of go along with him. So does that make you a hypocrite? I mean, think about it. I'm just saying, man. I heard some of the stuff you said. And of course, they tried to stymie me and censor me because, Big Kevin will only let me come on the show if I go live to bring some revenue in for him. But if I say the truth about it, that's what he does. Anything relevant. Well, that was a long show. I guess it's still going on. I have no idea. I had enough. I was laying there with my lady. If you really want to force yourself to take it, I generally don't do that much. But if I'm listening to Fazio or I'm listening to Big Kevin's show, it's like Snore City. I mean, wouldn't take very much to put me out. And I hear all these hypocrites on the show, all these hypocrites laying out their platforms on what they think is right and what they think is wrong and who's saying this and why they're wrong and why they might be right. But almost every single character on it, multiple crimes. They're some of the biggest racists on fucking YouTube. Talking about racism? We'll have a Filipino girlfriend. You can't be a racist. Number one. And it's a really ugly word, the same as the N word, okay? Some people use it. The criticism I want to give, okay, for Nick, he's a guy that wants to make himself heard. I mean, he's like me. Would be like, and there's really nothing wrong with that, but, you're preaching to an audience that fucking escaped from the asylum. You're not going to get through to them. You go, save your oxygen. That's my advice to you. You're not going to get through to these people. It's just not going to happen. Look, I've had 7.5 years of experience on this, and I can tell you from my experience, it's just not going to happen. I mean, look at the players you're talking to. You might as well be talking to a concrete wall. Oh, and Uncle Jesse, if you're listening, that video is an AI video with the young girl thing and all that shit. It was my voice, but not my words. Best I can describe it to you, just to give you little details. Anyway, I was listening to that show, and I wish I was a note taker. Yellow Man is, or War. I could have just put together so many idiosyncrasies that I wouldn't be able to catch up. Even what do you call them, a stenographer or whatever, court typist, couldn't keep up with the bullshit that was flying around. Kevin, of course, trying to play the innocent. that, he doesn't talk about people in a negative way. He wouldn't do that. No. Kevin's an instigator. That's the bottom line. And he's just sitting there salivating when he gets it. And Kevin asked me, well, what did you make on your show? I said, well, this morning I made whatever. Here we go with the competition again, right? How much are you making? It's irrelevant, man. It's irrelevant. You know, I make some. The competition is ridiculous. It's just, at least if I spend my money from super chats, it's not going on toys and things that light up and make, that knife in your fucking brain would pretty fucking. I think he's like a big kid. He's a grown ass man, but he's like a little child. His mind, wherever he got the damage from that bolo knife, really affected. He has the emotional stability or whatever of a problem. But he's entertainment to some people. He's like, you got nothing else better going on. You go to his channel when he's on, because I guarantee you all the players will come there to have their say about each other. Now, like I said, these are grown ass men. And listening to this, if somebody never been on YouTube before and they heard this, they would, or something. But it's not scripted. These are real grown ass men fighting with each other, calling each other names. The hypocrisy was so. You could cut it with, you could cut it with a fucking knife. One line after the other. Who's pretending to be the good guy and pointing fingers to the bad guys? They're all guilty. More. So there I was, just practically listening to the show, and I was too lazy just to cut it. Really weak at the moment. I just forced myself to go. I was too lazy to take my hand and just shut. But what I heard was rather interesting. You had all the players there that honed in on this, and I heard so many lies. Everybody trying to take that they do no wrong on YouTube, and even Gypsy Walker, I've heard him in the past. He's there was not one person on that wasn't an attacker at some point or the other, or is consistently an attacker of another YouTube or racist groups or whatever. Not one of them from that show to try to be on the top for what I was listening to. It was a circus, an absolute wow entertainment. According to what kind of entertainment that you're actually looking for, but it was all there on one show, and everybody kind of honed in on this with their own opinion about this and that and this. People yelling at each other. Popeye was drunk again. Came on, innocent Popeye who does absolutely no wrong, and he's not a racist. And he hates people. He hates people who would even imply a racist. But during his illustrious career, I've heard racist comments. I have. I've heard a lot of negativity from him through all the years. But when they're on a show with Aloe, anything apparently goes. Now Nico, well, what are they barking at? Nico kind of takes the position. He tries to be neutral, but he as long as he goes along with what Aloe says on there, and Aloe has used the end. He talks about murdering people, and why would Nico look up to Aloe? I mean, this is now Nico tries, to be on the righteous side of people. He tries to pretend to be. I like to see him in a different position than that because I think he's got some good in him. I'm a good judgment of character. I think he has been through physicalities of the nature of his injury. He's been through some shit, and I'm sure he has experienced racism growing up. So I would venture to say that he knows what racism is, okay? There's a little hypocrisy going on. He goes on shows when Aloe will definitely talk about some really horrendous shit. You know, you may want to define it as it. But Nico, why doesn't he just cut Aloe? That's a really racist comment, the N word. You shouldn't use it on here. And he shouldn't talk about fucking kids. Where does Nico come in on that? When it seems like everybody is afraid to talk back to him. He's nothing to everybody, a nameless, faceless. They want to get down and suck his dick. Why is that? Nico, why? I think, personally, that Nico is a better person than that. I believe in him. But he allows himself to get involved in all this shit. You know, it's a friendship thing on YouTube. There's a certain camaraderie. They know when the other person's wrong, but they go along with it because they don't. However, Nico doesn't care. Say, hey, that's wrong. I think Nico needs to do more of that. And that's just my Nico's probably not a bad guy. He's been through a lot of shit. We know that. So he shouldn't take the shit either. And don't be kissing Aloe's ass or Popeye's ass, because those guys have said a lot of shit on here. They put together skits that were really very defaming and pointed toward particular individuals. Now, if Nico could go along with that and not say to Aloe and or Popeye that, hey man, these little skits you do are really wrong. Why are you attacking these people? I would respect Nico a lot more. I would. I would give him, and Popeye's done a lot of video. Took the time to make these little skits that were really, really harassing and bullying, taking them out of context and character, because that's what they did. Is Kevin's show over yet? Jesus Christ, man. I told you I should have. Then Kevin's worried about how much money I'm making. Well, how much money did you make on your show, Frank? Well, I did get a good donation earlier today. Again, the competition with Kevin is intense. It's ridiculous. I'm not competing. Jesus Christ. Well, don't bother, man, because it's just a bullshit channel. It's just all the hateful players get together and they start. These are grown-ass men, and they're just yelling at each other, accusing each other, this and that, questioning everybody's character. The guy who runs the show is a big fat guy, 350 pounds. He used to weigh like 450, who was the ring man. He's over there salivating when he gets his donations. He has an Indian guy named John Balut, who's always throwing him money. Personally, I think they've done some stuff together on Skype. That's what I think. I think that's what all the notion. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Don't even bother to go there, trust me. But it was indeed a circus. As the hypocrisy of everything they were talking about, everything was pure hypocrisy. Because every one of those characters on there were guilty of one or more crimes. And I say the word crimes. Now, don't use that word easily. Some people have a fetish of watching obese people eat. Some people have a fetish about eating, That's why they're 350, 400 pounds. Why they need gastric bypasses and everything else. They don't have long to go. If they keep up like that, we can name the characters on here, but I think by now. But yeah, I just thought I'd come on. Kevin, because I know a lot of people don't live in the Philippines area. I went on too late. Probably nobody would show up to my show. But again, he has to make stupid comments like, well, how much did you make today, Frank? How old? He's like fucking. You could always say, well, Frank, gotta understand. He had a bolo knife embedded in his brain. All right. But I don't excuse it. What happened to him and to dad. But I don't have to accept what he says. I don't have to respect him for what he says, whether he got a bolo knife in his brain or not. Sorry, this never leaves his aunt's basement. Buys toys, things that light up and make sounds, microphones, and that's his life. So of course he comes on YouTube and wants to create drama because that's all he's got. For a lot of other YouTubers, that's basic. So keep threatening people, calling people's family. I mean, it goes. But alas, nobody. That's one thing we know. Two short things in life. If you're fat enough and ornery enough, you piss off, do something very criminal towards somebody, or good old karma can take over at any time, or other atrocities that could keep up the good. Yeah. So the rest of his life is. He thought he was above the law too. Wind him up. One side of the room to the Oreo bag. One side of the room to grab the cigarettes. I don't really think. Because I really don't think Barry could. He's too nerved up being in that jail cell. He's got to do something besides, rub himself off or something. But, you're in a very small. You got to do something with you. And then when you're going to get out of there and you don't hear any information, nobody's telling you anything, you're basically rotting in a cell. And that's the way the system is here, unfortunately, in the Philippines, that you may not hear. The only thing you're going to know what's happening when someone comes to your jail gate, tells you, okay, you got to come with me. That's some hard-ass shit. And he deserves even more than. Some people say, oh, you're heartless for getting him put in jail and getting charges on. Because if he would have kept outside of jail, somebody's eventually out there was going to end his life, I'm sure. He came close sometimes. There's people that really didn't like this guy. He took their money and whatever he did. Maybe some ex-girlfriend's family didn't like. Oh, yeah, he said. And when he had his freedom. So I think you guys are looking at this the wrong way. A big favor, especially here. He burned all his bridges. Absolutely. As far as I'm concerned, I did. I know he's facing a lot of. I know me, myself, and anybody wouldn't want to be in a Philippines jail cell. Nobody would, especially knowing it. Basically a fancy hotel compared to where he could be right now. So he should enjoy what he's got. He's got the best living situation he has since he's ever. He don't have to pay any rent or nothing. Get his girlfriend to bring some food over to him. He's got no worries in there. He's behind bars. Nobody's going to attack him. Hit him over the head with a. He's got it better than he's had it. In a very. So that's kind of one way of. Maybe when you think about it, he's still walking. He's apparently eating. He's got probably from the Oreos, but nevertheless, and hopefully maybe he did stop smoking. I don't know. I don't buy it though. Not really. He's living in better conditions than Yellow. Yeah, he's living better. The Yellow Man still has to pay a little money per month to live on that. It's a better condition than the. So basically, technically, yes. Who would have thought that Barry would be living better than the Yellow Man? But it's for real. How about some thumbs up, folks? It's for real. I think in some way, the question is, what is he doing with his Social Security money? Is he still getting it? Well, maybe he better save it for a lawyer, because the information I got is that, and that was straight from the Bureau of Immigration to my lawyer, that he has no representation on his case on the. As far as the other counts, he's going to have to address that too. Yeah, he's got some. They're pretty big, but you guys catch it. It's very atypical, and a lot of people want to hide stuff. Now, Brevis was, and most Brevis. Okay, but Brevis had big old wealth on the was like he stated when Mick Fisher came over there to confront Ricky, and when Mick Fisher left, he just comes on camera saying he was locked and loaded. Were you locked and loaded when you had that fight with whatever you had a fight with? I don't know. If you're that good at what you do, you wouldn't have that wealth on your face. As far as I'm concerned, it didn't work out well for you. I thought you were locked and loaded. That's enough I'll say about him. Let him be a daddy, and hope he's a good father to the kids. That's all we can hope for. No matter what we think of him, and with a jerk off, and he is. Let's hope that he's at least going to be a good father to the kid. We don't even wish, and that the child will have. That's what you have to do. Think, although they are going to be responsible for that physically and psychologically for the child, so we can only hope for the best. Let's see. Maybe Brevis is growing spare body parts as an income. Who knows? These people got to understand are very insignificant to me. They're entirely insignificant to me. In fact, is really forced to myself. I just enjoy doing my. I don't mind talking about the current events going on YouTube, obviously, but I don't want to. You guys have gotten too. If you want to know really what's happening and all the bullshit, you just go to. Look at I'm giving them a promo here. You just go to. You want to hear a bunch of losers all in one spot? They're all on there. Every one of you. You find Don C and a whole crowd on there. Every fucking loser that's possible will eventually show up on Big Kevin's channel. Maybe Brevis has grown. Okay, I read that. And there goes Big Kevin off again. Frank, how much did you make today? I made $50. Was he trying to compare Dick? Kevin, if you keep that weight on and everything, who cares how much? Who cares how much somebody donates on my show? Who cares if you're making more money than me on my super chats? It ain't gonna matter because I don't like this, and I don't wish this really upon anybody. But your body and your heart is carrying a lot of weight for a lot of years, man. Your body's breaking down. You needed knee replacements. You're on high blood pressure medication. Get a hint. Get that this hate is not important. The comp chat is you got bigger fish to fry, and I see this with these obese people on here. They're all bad. Now, I'm not just talking about their mind is going. Besides their physical health, they like to throw this shit out. Take your meds, Frank. No, I say take your meds. They're probably taking a lot of meds, or some are probably not taking any when they pop. Oh, James Caldwell's here. Hello, James Caldwell. Fisher could have just started talking, and now gets into fights, out drinking. That's not a good example for a child, I'll tell you that. I hope he changes for his own good. For his own good. Stop stalking people. Start threatening people. Your time is going to come, saying he says all the time. Everybody's. You're in it. You want to wind up like fucking Barry? It could happen. Jeff Beachy said, I really don't understand why anyone is still so obese. If the events of the last 3 years wasn't a wake-up call, to take your health seriously. Yeah, really, I know. And they waste their time. They got their health to take care of. I mean, I don't have any serious health conditions going on to my knowledge, and I hope I don't. But I wouldn't. And they just spend their time hating on here, pointing their fingers to people, telling people what they're doing wrong, doing hate shows about people. Once they develop a serious all thing, they're not going to waste their oxygen on putting together these any of that shit, because it will suddenly not be. Unfortunately, it does take events like that to happen to make people realize what they've been doing. It's like reviewing in 5 minutes after you find out that you have a terminal disease, and you could everything you ever said that was wrong to anybody else, whether on YouTube, 5 minutes, you're gonna see like your whole life go by in 5 minutes, and you finally, sit back in bed and adjust with the doctor, and you're gonna see how hateful you are, and see that no matter what you said on your shows to anybody, and just give them a good look at themselves, because unfortunately, you know, generally only happen when someone is under extreme pressure. They're hurting or they're in pain or they know maybe they got a terminal illness. That's when they start praying, and God, I'm sorry I've been such a fucking louse, the skin of society, that I've threatened people, that the things I've accused. Oh yeah, then they're talking to their, yeah, a little bit late. Because their Lord would have liked, okay, and why, what? So you could say 10 Hail Marys, the next day go back to being an asswipe? Just change. Every day is a lesson. And yeah, save me from my, exactly, whatever it is. Whether you're a drug addict or you're just naturally very caught, save yourself. Nobody else is going to save you. So when you die, if you've done good for people, people are going to remember that. They may actually show up at your funeral. Don't do anything good, nobody's going to be there because they won't give a fuck. They didn't give a fuck about because of what you've done and not going to give a fuck. Well, that's how it works. But yeah, it's kind of hard actually to go. It's the same thing. If you missed a show, then you didn't miss anything, because just go back on any past shows and you're going to hear the same shit. It's kind of hard to watch him and his situation and acting like a little child as a result being sunk into his brain, and that was a horrible thing. His story about how this happened, I never believed it. I got my own idea as to why that happened. He was not. So this bolo that went never uh, to what he said. He's like a little kid. Give me money. Where's my jingle? Where's my jingle? He asked people right out. And as I said, something with him and that Indian got a thing going on somewhere. I don't know what's. And every now and then, somebody else, they want to see their name in highlights. They want anybody who's donated to my show just donates because they want to. It's not because they want to see their name. But they do on his show. They just want positive comments, negative comments. They need the attention. But like I say, I'm on burnout mode with all this shit. It didn't stop me from making shows, but I still is a big. We all have a certain control of who we want to see and watch on here, right? That I don't have to go. But if you happen to be having a boring day and you want to see who's live on there, that's what happens. That's why you go over there. And sometimes you can't help but listen to the shit being tossed around. And all these people who claim perfection, that they do, hypocritical. I mean, you just go on there and people making fools of themselves. It's just every show. And the shows we're talking about. It's not just. Did I lose? I might have. But if that's the case, because it's just about. Where is my screen? Live stream. Here we go. Live stream YouTube. Here we go. Yes, it was indeed a circus. Right on, brother. Yeah, under the big top, if it could fit him. Maybe a big top, all right. I do believe in. It's not that I really wish bad. I mean, it's a karmic thing. It'll happen to them because of what they do. And I'm. And sometimes I try to be nice, and I won't keep this kind of shit up. Only bad can come out of it, whether it's your attitude. And then more concerned. I say, fuck the super. You're in bad health like that, or you are uh, on the borderline of a freaking heart attack from the hardening of your arteries because of your weight and diet and everything else. I mean, what's when you leave this planet, go with some people respecting you and having some good memories of you instead of thinking of you as a total asswipe, and I'm glad you're gone. That's what these people get. And if there is, you know, I think they know where they're going. They'll find. I don't know. I don't have a belief in that stuff, but I still. That maybe you will be judged, but maybe your hell has been in the living here on Earth right now, and that's why they can't walk far. They because of their weight, they're getting health problems. Your life is miserable. Maybe this is the testing grounds today, now, the life you've been living. Maybe see, last death. Yeah, last death. Bed words are. I wish I get more super chats. Yeah, that's why I kind of laugh now when they keep on talking about. It doesn't matter how much I get on my show. I get anything at all. Oh well, I know why. They just don't want to see me prosper on my show. And it's to push that thought. Why can't people just wish? The way Nico speaks on the show, it's like, oh no, we should have harmony everywhere. Everybody should learn to get along and respect each other, not be a racist. Not you got to practice what you preach, man. I mean, that's what it comes down to. These people don't all practice what they preach. They're hypocrites, you know. And as far as Nico, I think he means well. I think he does, but I don't know. He gets kind of sucked into that famous vortex. And he'll say things on the show, and Popeye's on, and Aloe gets on, and all the other characters, and scum of society that comes, and kind of gets sucked into the blender with all this shit. And he doesn't want to offend, so he'll go along with what they say, make a joke out of it or something. But that makes him just as guilty as. So hypocrisy, as I always say, my famous words, the hypocrisy on YouTube is absolute definitely. Okay, guys, ready to the show this morning, and then I did a show now, and I don't need to do any more because, in the sense that all the criminals showed up on there, almost every one of them, almost in one place. Yeah, resurrecting criminals to come to his. They come from everywhere. Funny thing, he's a Mormon or something, I guess. I don't know. These people, I'm not. I believe in the teachings to be a good person and to treat people, defame people. Goodliness is supposed to be. For what? They put on this facade. They go to church every Sunday or whatever it is, whatever your religion is. But they put their nice white shirt on and black pants, like Big Kevin does, gets all dressed up. But then he goes on a show, becomes a complete fuck. What good is going to church? It means you're a hypocrite in that too. It's just to show the community that they live in. Look at us. We got the car in the garage. Maybe and we go to church on Sunday so we can get respect. But what are these people like? Is the father beating what is Junior there? What is he like when he comes out of church? What sin? It's all a show. The way I see it, if you believe in a religion, you don't need to walk into a structure like a church to believe. It's in your heart, it's in your soul. You could pray in your own house and light a couple of candles. And but there's several reasons why people go to, they think they're going to be close to God if they go to a church. And some people to be that pillar of the community. You know, they want to be seen in that social structure that everybody else said, oh, she's a churchgoer. She's a good woman. I've seen her in church. Because you go to church doesn't mean you're a good person. I mean, look at Big Kevin. Look at these assholes on here. Are they good people? Do they go to church? I think the whole system is, because I always talk about, they got the confessional box, right? And I talk about this all the time. I find, you got this priest that's hiding behind a, what can I do for your son? Then you got to go to the speech. Look, I went to catechism, all that shit. I know what it's all about. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 30 seconds since I committed my last sin. I forgot to tell you last time I called somebody. I absolve you of all your sins. She said, all right, it's a Sunday. Monday. And the asswipe goes right back. So he's got all week. Be the asshole that he is until he goes back to, forgive me, Father. I fucked my neighbor's wife. I said I was going to kill somebody. And the Father, I absolve you of all your sins. Be a good boy. See you next Sunday. And don't forget the donation box. That's why I can't get involved with all. I just can't. It's all a hypocrisy. It's all hypocrisy. Everything, even the freaking church system, man. It's all about the fucking money and donations. Catholic diocese is the richest, call it an organization. The real estate holdings they have. Why did the archdiocese has been paying off families because so many priests are attacked, and they want to cover this up so the diocese pays off these families to keep a low profile of what happened. Oh yes, they'll discipline the priest or nun, whatever committed the crime, or they'll just isolate, But it happens all the time. I've heard this ever since I've heard of all these stories in the archdiocese. That they will keep this quiet. We apologize what happened. Here's a little money. Let's not go to court with this. Let's not make. So, you wonder why I'm not religious? I don't believe in what you call organized religion. You are your own house of God. You decide what you're going to do with your life and how you live your life as a good person. And that karma that Native Americans believe in is very real. That's why I relate in many ways with Native Americans, because I think they deal with nature, what's good. They worship the sun because, right? They worship water because they can clean their clothing. They can cook with it. Any benefiting a native, they make it a god, basically. It's not like they worship all that is good in their life, whether it's the moon, the stars. That's why I respect most Native Americans, because and Jifigichi says Jesus turned over the tables of the money changers in the temple. What would he do with today's churches? I have no idea. Now, I don't knock people really for being religious. I think if it keeps them out of trouble, if they really go by the word of their practice, their religion, of God, whatever their God is, whether it's Allah or whoever it might be, it don't matter. I actually do. I respect your beliefs, but it may not be mine. You don't have to believe in everything. We have our own minds. I think if it keeps you out of trouble, if it makes some people good people, then by all means, please. You got to believe in something, okay, in life. You have to believe in something. If you can't believe in much, believe in yourself at least. Self-respect, dignity, pride. Nothing wrong with that. But, don't commit crimes during a week and think you can go to the confessional booth and tell all your sins to this guy who's hiding behind a fucking, and he absolves you of all your sins. No matter how bad it was, you just killed somebody. And and after he probably rapes a child with the guy or something, he's going to absolve you. I just don't. Then they go off again. See you next weekend. Don't forget to fill the confessional box with a little bit of money. Don't forget the donation basket. And by the way, you ever see? I went to a few church sessions here and there. What they do, they have like a made of straw, whatever, long handle, and they go around all the, not once, but about 3 times. They want to get the leftovers, whatever. The ones that, give a little time, maybe they'll give some. So they come by with the basket. If you want to give anything, you throw your. Fucking 15 minutes later, they're back again with the basket again, and one more time. They want to clean your. You would think once would be enough. You're going to give. You're going to give. Don't come by and hit me up twice more.
It's different.
Huh?
It's different how you give.
It's different. You said what?
It's different.
Oh, it depends on what you give. Yeah.
It's not.
But like I said, I mean, please don't ever misunderstand me. Like my girlfriend's religious. Don't think she was going to church all the time. But I think giving to something you believe, I don't have a problem with it. I find it's crazy to what people give to. And I just find it just hilarious how you're allowed to commit all the sins in the world, and all you got to do is go to a confessional booth, and Father just tells you to say a bunch of Hail Marys and maybe a couple of other. And you're absolved of all your sins. When you just raped somebody, just smacked somebody, just insulted somebody, just defamed somebody and called them a child predator, or stalking somebody, or kicked some blind man, and he's go with God's son. See, oh, yeah, I certainly did. Not in. I grew up in the suburbs of New York, Westchester County, close to the Bronx. Although I was in the city quite a bit. Bronx is one of the boroughs. The Bronx, you got to say, the Bronx. My grandmother, my aunts lived there quite a bit, visiting all the time. So I maybe spent 25% of my time in the Bronx. She will always. Actually, well, partially I grew up in New York City. A lot of time visiting the relatives there, so I don't know. You could say. But generally, no, I was in the suburbs outside, like a bedroom community. Oh, absolutely. The best real food in the world I ever ate. Never been able to be replicated. Is the best Chinese food I ever had. I grew up eating chow mein. All the stuff that you normally would buy. Chow mein. They made some damn good chow mein growing up, man. Remember, I used to get a little white cardboard. There's one time, I wouldn't be surprised if I ate cat, because this one Chinese place we always used to, man, they got, instead of using real chicken, they were taking all these alley cats in because it didn't cost them any money, killing them, and they use it as chicken. And with all the seasonings in there, you might not have known better what you were eating, but I would not have been surprised at one of my meals that came from, yeah, they do that. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do it all over Asia. Especially, there could be rat chow mein for, there's plenty of rats around. You don't, look, you want to know the truth, man? You don't know what you're eating half the time on these places. When they make a stew of some sort, you don't know what kind of meat that is, because the flavoring of the gravy or whatever it is you have in there, the spices, will kind of be absorbed in that meat. And you really don't know what kind of, you think maybe you're getting delicious hamburger. Okay. Plenty of rats around, and Asia uses them, especially places like, Vietnam and places like that. Fuck yeah, they make rat stew all the time. Ratatouille, whatever. Geechee says horse meat was showing up in a lot of food in Europe a few years ago. Well, that won't surprise me. The rats and things like, you know that the Philippines actually sells. I saw a documentary, sells rats to places like Vietnam. They want all the rats they can. Not that there's not enough rats in Vietnam. I'm sure there is, but there are businesses where they cage up these things. They catch these rats and they sell them to Vietnam and places like that. Now, would you eat a rat? I would. It's cooked, of course. You don't have to look at it as a rat. You just see the meat. You know it's a rat. But if you're starving, I would imagine you would eat a rat. Knowing that you're eating a rat doesn't fall very good with your stomach and your mind. But human instinct to eat. If you'll eat whatever it is, I think like the Andes plane crash. It's according. How do you look at that? You got a family, but yet you're gonna get criticized by the world saying that you're a fucking cannibal, that you ate. You know, how do you look at this really? You're an animal too. Do you not eat animals? Do you not eat cows? But maybe it's more, you know, we see that as being very taboo, that we're civilized people, we don't eat each other. We think of the higher intelligence. But if you have to eat, like the Andes plane crash, this has not happened just once, but, just numerous times. They had the bodies that were dying, and they had a choice. They're out in the snow, but the elevation is really. You have a wife, you have kids, you got family you want to go home to. Am I going to eat human flesh to survive so I can be rescued, hopefully, and be able to go home and see my family? Oh, rat is probably better than a chicken McNugget. You're probably right. What I heard they put in that shit. Chicken. Look, bird right there. Look at the bird. Gilda. Right. Chance take chunks of that dead body. Yeah, I know. You're going to feel guilty as shit for eating that. You're going to feel very ashamed. But, you know, when you really look at this situation, it is. And what? We're not eating the dead flesh of animals? But it's, I can understand if we went around and everybody who drops dead, instead of going to Safeway, we're going to go fetch the body and cook it up for dinner. I'm sure there are people still doing that. There is. I know there is. There is. Shit, Big Kevin. Shit. It's just, yeah, Jeffy, when you'll do what you need to do to survive. That's our. Ricky is not the hobgoblin much anymore. No brisket and ribs. Still happening. Yeah, I know there is. There is. It's fading out, but hey, they got it right in the Philippines. That wasn't too long ago they were doing that shit. They got some native tribes that go back. You never see these people. Sometimes they come down from the mountains to trade some of their little handmade for supplies. But in the Philippines, there are still very remote. I've seen it on, not in person, but I've seen it on these documentaries. Today in 2023, yes, they still exist. They were headhunters at times. They were cannibals at times, and some practiced that. Some really, you know, you better know somebody out there, and you better be very nice, because you could be on the. Now, a lot of these tribes out there are very unusual for what I've seen. They're very short people. You never usually see very tall people. They're very short. These are like the true native Filipinos. Okay, very native. You can't get more native than that. And a lot of them evolved, but there's some that have not. These are come down from certain tribes. Come down from. They will produce sometime, not being dependent on the outside world. But I think a lot of them are modernized, and they do come down for supplies to bring back. They will create and to buy other things that they need that they can't create. Yeah, they still don't think they don't. They do. But there are some tribes, they're disappearing too. But they do exist out here in the Philippines. It's real, man. Chef Frisbee is also known as Battaglia, as I understand, but how he I'm the one that I won't even give you the definition behind it. That's all. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to go here. I'm very glad to say we did get a fairly good donation. Nothing on this particular show, but we did. So, and I think we had a pretty good show this morning, and not as lively at this time of the day. It's afternoon here. I don't expect a big audience. Well, Frisbee came from, he gets tossed around a lot in his life by people, Barry. We're talking about Barry Frisbee. I'm the one that came up with the name. And I'm the one that came. People have asked me before, why do you call him Frisbee? You know, he can't stay in one place. He's being thrown around, thrown out by, tosses himself everywhere into people's lives and rude, you know, throw the Frisbee again and wind up in somebody trying to take money from them and fuck up some woman's life or something. He's just a Frisbee. He's made the way he. Frisbees get chewed up too when dogs get. Okay, well, we don't have a whole shitload of people on here, and I'm not going to sit around like I'm waiting for a fucking donation. Can't complain. We did have a donation today. Big cat. He actually really is. He's actually. Jeez, over money. Jesus Christ. Is it that bad that they're that concerned with somebody? I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't understand the competition with this. It's just really. Okay, gonna give you guys 10 minutes of silence. You guys could talk. Well, actually, you guys could talk among each other. I always do. We heard a circus today, and there'll be a lot. And I'm gonna take a breather.
I just had to take surgery on my leg, so I'm kind of limited.
I think Jerry should leave you $50 because he's so concerned how much everybody leaves. I would like to see him leave in the chat right now. How much he's gonna leave, you know, because he's so concerned. You know, he's so helpful. No, hey Kevin, I'm just really joking. I like to get under his skin if I can, but I know he's helped you. No, me.
Yeah, but believe it or not, Jerry helped me out like a couple of
Blue
$1,000.
John gives Kevin
out
another
quite a fair
$50.
bit of money. He acts like a tough guy, but he helped me out a lot of money.
We got a lot of catching up to do. Competition, right?
So don't let him kid you. But he's.
Oh no.
He is
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I have nothing. I tried. I joke around. It really doesn't bother me, Kevin. But at the end of the day, as long as it helps you, that's fine.
Oh my God! Oh, John! Oh, Bruce!
Oh shit! Yeah. There you go.
Kevin.
$50, baby.
No, I'm talking about Bruce. I'm not talking about John. I'm talking about Bruce. I'm not talking about John. I'm talking about Bruce Davis. Bruce Davis gave me $5 New Zealand money.
Well, I'm glad everything is going good. That's the important thing. It's going good. That's the important thing.
I'm doing very, very good.
No, that's in your healing. That's good. And then once you get to that goal, you get the fuck out of here and go, you know, spend some time with the family. And I think
Well, you know, but again, see, all of you guys are it's kind of, it's like I said, Aloe's been my good. See, it's kind of hard to stutter. I do stutter when I drink, but it's kind of hard to stutter. Who is my friend? Big E, you, Roberto, Aloe. Again, and Jerry. And again, so you can't go. Oh, you're my friend. You're my. So you can't be a dickhead and go. Oh no, you're my friend. But all of you guys have been very good friends of mine, and you guys been very good supporters of mine and my family, and Pennsylvania Trucker, Baloo John has been, but also Big E, because Big E paid my way back to the Philippines and stuff. Yeah, you guys,
You guys, thank you very much for helping. Really helping.
helping us.
Yeah.
Listen to that bullshit. Listen to that bullshit.
We are all one big family.
It should be capitalism, not competition. Oh, Kevin beat me today on his competition. But he's got this one guy that's always giving him money, that's Baloo John. As I said, what goes on between them on camera after the shows, their personal business, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, Kevin made about at least $100 today. I'm not sure. I'm not, in competition, and I'm not counting, but I know that he just made a 50 from one guy and maybe 25 another country or something for somebody else. But he buys toys with it. Nothing's going toward his children, like he claims. See, I don't make these claims on my show. I don't say it's going to my daughter. It's going to my pocket, period. And what I do with that money is my business, but it's not going to illicit shit. It's not going to a bunch of little toys when this man has a responsibility to his children. He helped create them. It's his job to support them. Whether they're doing fine with their mother and a new person, don't make any. It's no bearing on that. It's you still have a responsibility to your kids. If you're saying, how do you think he paid off his fines if he still owes money to the government for his overstay? He's not innocent. 13 years overstay. He got Barry beat by 6 years, at least. I'd understand if he got it paid for, like Big E was paying him money. Yeah, Big E was paying him money. He has a responsibility not to e-beg on his show the way he does and not use the money for its intended purpose. That's where I get pissed off with him because and he's not honest. And that's the difference. You could listen to more of this if you want.
Family. Well, what?
And also, he's using my picture on his thumbnail. That's got to be worth a long form on his show. That's what you got to do. Report his show. He loses all his subs and all his money. Well, don't have to beat him in the head with a baseball bat. Just get his show striked. That's all you got to do, folks. You wonder. Yeah, I think I know the reason for that. He probably fucked some. It had nothing to do with his brother-in-law. Or maybe the wife or woman he had, and maybe the brother-in-law came in. It's not for reasons that all of a sudden the brother-in-law decided he's going to go berserkos and put a bolo knife in his head. Believe me, for somebody to come at you with a bolo knife in your head, you had to do something that was awfully wrong.
It's kind of hard to it's not good to criticize each other.
It's okay to
listen to that, Bo. It's not good to criticize each other. Listen to these fucking clowns.
Joke around, but
Yeah, Don't backstab each other. It's not
Oh, Kevin would not do that.
good, and you don't get nowhere.
Listen to.
Well, you know what it is? There's a confusion. And
There is no being real. There's no reality on YouTube. It's all delusional people with mental illness, majority.
and being like entertainment. And that's the thing that I don't
It
do.
does, doesn't
Entertainment.
it?
It's okay to help, but
Yeah, but
like
there's a line you can't cross, and
Yeah.
that's why I don't talk bad about Jerry. And you guys want me
Oh, come on. He talks bad about everybody.
to, but I don't
well,
do it.
no.
No, he won't talk bad about the people who donate to him. That's the difference.
No, Kevin, I don't want you to ever cross Jerry because he's a good guy. What I want you to understand is if you don't see it,
And he doesn't do any wrong. He's got this edited photo on his show as his thumbnail of me. No, Kevin doesn't do any wrong, does he?
I have been a person, Kevin, that I don't see certain things. And I will never throw it on somebody else to see what I see. You know what I'm saying? But when it is
Listen to the hypocrisy here.
obviously there, and there's a line that you say, you know, he helps me, but
Yeah, he even gets angry when I bring it up because he doesn't want people to know that he helps me. But he gets angry when because it's personal and it's between us.
well, there's never really. I mean, if no one tells you that it's between us, then it's not.
Yeah.
So to me, oh, hold on, my daughter's calling me.
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, if you've been on and off listening to Kevin's show or any one of it, the mud pies that are flying, the bullshit that's flying on that show, almost every single person that's on that show even made a comment on that show when they had that expression, you know, your shit doesn't stink. I guarantee their shit stinks. But yet they want to point fingers every. And then Nico goes into the speech and all this soliloquy, preaching about what he feels is wrong and right, but he's been a participant with Popeye and agreeing or going along, and whether the N-word was used by Aloe, raping little kids up their ass, that Aloe's been known to talk about, different things like that. Why doesn't Nico go along? Why doesn't he stop the conversation right there and say, look, you know, I try to respect you, Aloe, but he won't do that. It makes him just as guilty. It makes so you listen to this crap, and Kevin, like the little emotionally retarded, is just throwing out this shit, collecting money on his show for being the. I guess sometimes it pays to be an. You know, I guess that's what it's like. But and he's stuck in a position where his mental health and physical. Or to go along in there with his sister. I don't think he can drive his own car. And I don't think he could safely drive a car, even if he did have a car. That's so, yeah, tune in. If I can't bring it back, I say fuck it, but kind of pretty much hurt. So Kevin here we go.
My daughter's like, hey, Dad, what are you doing? I mean, I don't expect anybody to attack, you know, anybody that contributes. But to me, unless proved otherwise, there's a limit to certain things. And I would never, you know, I respect you and your show. And I would never, I'll bring.
Nico, why are you kissing Big Kevin's ass? This is the thing I don't get. I respect you and your show. What? You respect a man who's nothing but hate and evil and trolls? You've heard him put down my lady. You heard him put down other people. He's even using my thumbnail on there. His thumbnail, rather, a picture. I know, it's a phenom. They just want to be heard and seen to get their name out there that I donated X amount of money. And he goes, did a whole speech about that. That's as sick as it is, they exist. And that's only one. Everybody's a fucking hypocrite. At least I say, and I base my information on facts, that everything I say on here is on other people's shows. But I get attacked for that. They're allowed to say what they want to say and they get rewarded for it. That's the difference between their shows and mine. I'm fact. Okay. I'm a nonfiction show. But they can lie their ass off, be the biggest hypocrites in the world, attack people, say that they do no wrong, but yet there's a thumbnail. They get paid for it. I mean, it really is. Speaking of such, I'm going to get his show fucking taken off, and that's the way. Get him striked out, and I got to start. That's the way you do it. So if you respect my show, if you disrespect the kind of shit that these people do, that's what you do. Get him striked out. Look at Aloe. He's getting striked out all the time. Okay. Roberto got striked out. That's why he's been doing no shows. You could do it, guys. You spent this much time listening to my show. You could go right on there, hit the report form, and make a report. You have the power to do certain things on here. There's some things that you just can't do. You can't control. It's inborn. So you can't fix stupid. You can't. With that being said, and hope you learned something today. As the hypocrisy is absolutely fucking.